Alright guys, I want to talk today about thermistors and what they do. Sometimes they're kind of hard to understand, and frankly a lot of times when you have one of these acting up in your refrigerator, you pretty much don't know what is going on. So they come in different sizes, length, shapes, length of wire. Now, something to understand about them: the length of wire will affect how it operates. So, for example, if you have, now they're used to, let me explain a little bit what they do, by the way. They measure, or I shouldn't say they measure, they tell the board the approximate temperature that the unit should be operating on. When the board gets the signal from this, then the board knows what to do in order to complete whatever function that needs to be done. Whether the damper should be open or closed, or should the fan be running or not. Some of these will control the speed of the fan, when the fan comes on, and so forth. So if you have determined that, for example, a thermistor is bad, that controls your fan. Now, if you cut it out, let's say you cut this one out from your refrigerator. For example, if it's some units, you should replace the entire assembly, and you won't have a problem with that. So you'd replace the entire damper assembly, and it comes with its thermistor, so you should be fine. But if, for example, you decide you don't want to spend, the entire cost of replacing the assembly, and you just want to cut this out and replace it, you can do that. If you've determined that the one on the fridge is bad, now it's time to replace it with a compatible thermistor, you want to make sure that whatever length of wire is cut from that, you must replace it back with the same amount. Maybe a tad bit more is fine, but within a quarter of an inch, you really want to put it back, because the reading, when this sends a message to the board, and let's say you have excess wire, because some of these units, when they come with a long wire for you to cut it. Some are universal. These I bought, and the Whirlpool, and they came with a pretty long wire. So if I measure the resistance on this, okay, you can see the length. If I measure the resistance on that, it's going to be different than this. So this tells you that if you were not to cut the wire, you just install it, as long as this, your board would be getting the incorrect signal, and it might not even operate whatever component it should be operating. It just won't. It won't know to do it. So we're going to check this resistance. I'm going to freeze it just a little bit. Nothing crazy. It's probably 70 degrees now, so we're probably going to drop it down just a little bit. Okay. Now this wire is short. Actually, I should have freeze it while it was on. It would be kind of cool to see it working. All right. So that is 1500. Okay. Now I do have warm water. Okay. Now watch, as the temperature increases, it should decrease. okay? This is a NTC thermistor, negative coefficient. So they're used to measure temperature. So make sure you keep them in close proximity when you remove the wires. Same amount of wire removed, same amount of wire should be installed back. If not, you're going to increase the resistance. Wire is a resistor as well. So the longer the wire, the greater the resistance. So, what was the temperature? What was this guy? 15? Yeah. So I'm going to try another one. If I can find it. Let's check this one. See what this one is. This is room temperature right now. It's going to be pretty close because the wires are almost identical. But I sprayed him, so we'll see. Right, so he's 1263, okay, in the 1200s. So I sprayed him, so I want to leave this right now at room temp. So look at that number. You're on 1260, okay, with a short wire. So, okay, we're on 1260. Now this wire is longer. See that? 13, okay? Same machine, meaning same device, just the length of wire. So that's how crucial it is. So if your fan, your board has a preset number to receive before it turns the fan on at, let's say, 1300, and this wire is so long, it's just not going to turn it on. Okay, it will not turn it on. So make sure that whatever you remove, you put it back into very close, if not identical, when you're wiring these in. They must be in the same proximity. This one is pretty long. This is going to be pretty close to this. They're both Whirlpool. So this is probably going to be around the 13, maybe 14. I haven't measured it. I'm just basing that from the wire. Okay, so he's 1237. So almost identical to 1240. Yeah. Now, if you want to see if this guy's working, okay, you just get a cup of hot water, dunk it in. This came off of a Whirlpool refrigerator with the ice fan, I think. So he's working. He's dropping. Now, you can increase him now by spraying. Freeze him. Okay, it's still dropping. Going back up. Now watch. We're going to spray it. Look at that. So this is a good thermistor. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. Here's another one. This one is a, I think this is LG. I think this is a good unit as well. Let's see what he is. He's probably going to be in the 12 or so. 12 or 13 probably. Yeah, so, yeah. So let's see if he's positive or negative. He should be NTC. As you can see, he's going down like he's supposed to. Definitely slower though. Not a lot more, but he's definitely slower. So, all right, guys, that's what I wanted to show you, just so you know what to look for, how to replace the thermistor, and also make sure the cruciality of it is you have to keep, if that's a word, very crucial that you keep the wires identical as how you remove them. Also, if possible, if quite possible, you want to make sure that when you remove these things, you either solder the wires in, okay, or use a good wire nut, but I'm not a big fan of wire nuts. But if you have to, you have to, and then use some silicone and fill the hole with the wire nuts. But when you do these, you really want to solder your joints because it's a better connection. You never get corrosion between the joints, and you use heat shrink over your connection. So you can solder that, and you would slide your heat shrink over once your joint is done. So something like that would be perfect for your thermistors. But keep your wires short, very, very crucial. All right, thanks for watching.